For many Chinese students, English writing might be a big obstacle in their way of learning English. To become a relatively experienced writer, students can try to start their learning from knowing how to write correct and even effective sentences. With this good start, Chinese students can further proceed to the next steps, helping them improve their English writing ability. This series lectures will focus on transferring the basic knowledge about how to write effective English sentences. Now, let's start from our learning, Lecture 1. At first, I'd like to ask you a question. What is a complete sentence? Or what is a grammatically complete sentence? Actually, this question involves our basic understanding about sentences. A grammatically complete sentence contains a subject and a predicate verb. If the verb is transitive, there will be an object after it. Superficially, this definition is easy to understand, but many mistakes in writing are essentially related to a real understanding about this concept. Let's look at some simple examples. According to the definition, we can find that the first sentence lacks a subject, the second loses the subject and the predicate verb, and the last one misses out the subject and auxiliary verb. Especially the last example. Many students may feel it familiar to them and even do not realize that it's faulty. It is really a typical mistake that the Chinese students commonly make in their writing. In addition to the basic elements like subjects and the predicate verb, a sentence also contains attributes and adverbials, which are not essential but helpful to make meaning clear and complete. The following examples show that the attributes can add colors to sentences. For instance, in the second sentence, the word long actually gives the sentence some emotions. For Chinese students, another very important concept is that a complete sentence begins with a capital and ends with a period. This seemingly simple rule contains very rich meanings. The comma fault, a most common mistake among Chinese students, is concerned with this concept. Comma fault is the use of a comma in place of a period, semicolon, a colon, or a dash in English writing. So, for Chinese students, just to keep in mind one principle. A comma cannot be used to separate complete sentences. Now, let's look at an example. Obviously, according to the definition about sentences, we can see that this example contains two short and complete sentences, both of which should have been closed with a period at least. Depending on the context and on the writer's intention, we have different ways to improve that example. We can use a colon or a period to separate the sentence. And we can also use such structure as so that to connect the two parts. Of course, we can rewrite it into subordinate sentences, just like the last three simple improved sentences as well.